As a kid growing up in England, we were always told that quitting is inherently bad. Only losers quit. Quitting is not an option. But first you don't succeed. Try again. Stiff upper lip, chaps, and all that. But can quitting sometimes be a good thing? Now, the title for today's video may seem a little inappropriate as a headline or an unpopular opinion, especially in today's world of social media and content creation, where many are on a narcissistic toddler's journey or a hero quest as the lead character in everything they do. I found this! I found that! I discovered this, man! I was so shocked at what I found! Look, if it wasn't for my ability to quit, I wouldn't be here today, quite literally. I quit tablets, I quit nicotine, I quit a self-destructive lifestyle. In today's video, I'm going to show you a little adventure I had recently with a couple of friends up a jungly mountain in northern Thailand. And I'm going to tell you a short, tragic story, an event that caused me to know my limits, an incident that changed my entire outlook on life. It's an incident that happened over 20 years ago, and why I'm a quitter and proud of it. As you know, we went up Khao Nor yesterday, and today we're going up Khao Phraya. Now this spot, up until about 5 or 6 years ago, there were no railings here. And the first, let's say, kilometre of this, first 30-40 minutes is just sheer. It just goes up. Bit of a scramble, but we should be good. Well, we're definitely the first up here today because you got the cobweb in the face. Got a cobweb in the face, exactly that, Carl. This first kilometre up really is a bit of a scramble. It's very, very steep, but I know what's at the top here, so it keeps me going. You wait until you see what's at the final destination. And just like Leo Messi in America, leading the way in his old age, we've got another Argentinian number 10 up there, leading the way up the mountain. He's 68 and he's leaving us lagging. And this part of the trail runs out through a tree fall, so just got to scramble round there. Right, I'm ready. Not ready, ready, not ready. Ready? Right, the railings have ended. Roughly halfway up to the top of this mountain, but we're going to go through a forest, down the other side and up a cliff face, I think, but I know I've been here before, but not that knackered. Just really hot, hotter than... It's hotter than anything, really, but it'll be worth it. Jesus, this one has really done me after yesterday afternoon's Khao Nor climb. "68-year-old and a 60-year-old up there. 68-year-old leading the way, and there's me, 50. Having a wee rest. But as usual, I'll get up, I'll get my second wind, and I'll be good to go pretty much anywhere. Let's go. Can't believe this. This is the first mountain that's ever beat me, and I have been up this one before. I just feel terrible. I've had 3 bottles of water on the way up already, and I guess you've got to know your limits. I don't feel right. I feel nauseous. I've just overheated everything. I've got 1 bottle of water left. I'm not going up. It's a shame because this is my favourite mountain in Thailand, if not the world, because what's up there is incredible. So I'm just going to have to show you a couple of clips from a previous video. You know what though, I'm old enough not to feel like a loser or feel too demoralised because I've done it before. I guess sometimes you've got to know your limits, and I've never felt like this going up a mountain before. I feel weird, I feel dizzy, I've had plenty of liquid, so rather than push it and risk getting stuck up now, I'm just going to go down. Like I said, because I've conquered this place before, I don't feel too much of a failure. It is what it is, unfortunately, but down we go. Fuck off. I have to say though, I'm 50 years of age and I do have a survival instinct, and I've never ever, once in my life, ever set off on a trail or a climb or a hike and had to turn back. The size of that. Yeah, and had to turn back. This is the first time ever, but I've survived this long, so I just trust my instincts. Don't feel right going down. This is where we hope we don't encounter any wild beasties. Not just monkeys, but we all know the kind of animals that live here on the mountains and the jungles of the countryside of Thailand, so fingers crossed all will be well. Well, this is mad. In a very strange turn of events, I'm actually struggling to get down, I'm not going to lie. I feel weak, wobbly, dizzy. Yeah. Done in, shall we say. Anyway. About halfway down. Oi. Ah, yeah. Fucking hell. Wow, I don't even know if I'm going to get down, if I'm honest. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I've done all my water. I've done all my water now. I'm nearly down, and usually I go down really fast, and it's a real struggle today just going down, so oh well. Better get fitter, come back in cool season. Well, that now that is a sight for sore eyes, I tell you that. There is the ground. Let's see if I can find some cold water splash over my face. Now here's the time that I normally say, made it. Hey, made it down, and get all happy and everything, but I didn't make it, but I did. I made it down. Things don't always go to plan, do they? So I'll just give you a little roll now. I'll roll the old clip and show you what it's actually like up there, okay? Wow. Wow, wow, wee wah!
I got the groove. I'm here to prove that I can shock it or rock it or clock it at the tempo. Keep it flowing, cause yo, I'm here to state some fact. Yes, I'm black and I don't lack. Bringing my brain steady and keeping the right track. Follow the path that is written in the scripture. My work is a caveman. Yes, I'll uplift ya. Straight from the heart and the soul is my riches. Putting down sucker MCs in the ditches. I don't look trendy. Your girl might send me a rose. You oppose, you get a punch in the nose. Now I'm going like a water hose. And yo, I'll be a friend if you're not a foe. Now who is this MCM?
Just sitting here with my little friend here. He's just given me a load of water here, look, to cool down. He's given me a bottle of water. This man is JD Mac. JD Mac, this man here. Mr. Nan. And this guy is a lovely, lovely man. JD Mac.
Very good. Welcome.
And if you see this man, be really nice to him. This is the friendliest man on earth. He's just looked after me. He's called me down. He's made sure I'm all cool, giving me some water. Just having a good chat with him in mostly my broken tie. What a lovely guy. He's given me water. He's made sure I've cooled down. I feel great now, funnily enough. These guys have been up. I'd imagine I'll be down in about an hour or so. This geezer's going to think I'm going to outstay my welcome eventually, I'm sure, but he's quite happy at the moment. It's actually turned out into a really pleasant morning, because after all that, I was just overheating. I was not enough water, everything. I just had to get down. I had to. Never done that before. Never bailed out of a hike, a trek, a jungle walk, anything like that. Just had to. Anyway, it's turned out into a lovely morning, really. I got down, and the ranger down here, he gave me a load of cold water pour over my head. Then he went and got me his own bottle of water from his room. And then we sat and we've just been chatting. We've been showing each other pictures and stuff like that. And I've just been relaxing, shall we say, as Ali G once said. Relaxing, maxing, it ain't too taxing. Bah! Something like that, mate. But, yeah. So beautiful surroundings here at Camberwell. Indulge me for a moment, if you will, and let me tell you a quick story about two men I knew briefly in the late 90s. Let's call them, for the sake of this video, let's call them Tim and Dave. I met them in the Langtang Valley on a trek in Nepal, Asia. In March 1999, it was part of the old Silk trade route. A lot of the villages where I went on that trek, I find it difficult to think about, never mind talk about. They've gone now, and the people that I met and the memories that I shared and everything, they're all gone. Because in 2015 there were a couple of massive earthquakes which caused a huge ice sheet to snap off high up the mountain and literally bury towns. It buried the town of Langtang. There's a place where I once sat and watched the elections going on, because there was a communist uprising. They expected to be big fighting there. So I sat on the hillside and I observed it. The entire town has gone. It's, I don't know, 100 metres deep in rock and rubble. Siabru Bessie on the trailhead, gone. I'm not sure about Dunshay and other places I remember. Anyway, I have photos, and I wanted to go back one day and take them back and give to the families that I stayed with. I watched Harold Balder recently and I barely recognised anywhere. Anyway, it was the trek of my life and it was the time of my life. I came up close to a red panda. I scaled cliffs. I trekked alone at stages. I worked ganja fields. I shared experiences with the local people. Anyway, it's a long time ago and it's a different story to tell. But back to Tim and Dave. I met Tim and Dave pretty much at the top of the trailhead. They'd just been up and gone to one of the smaller peaks, and I didn't. I went to the snow line and I didn't do a peak. It doesn't matter. It's a different story. Anyway, we decided to travel back down through Langtang Valley together and then on to Kathmandu. Tim was a Californian and Dave was a Kiwi, a guy from New Zealand. We had a wonderful few days in the valley on the trip back to Kathmandu, full of laughter, full of full of Nepalese hashish and stories and jokes and laughs. Now, Tim and Dave decided to go and do another trek somewhere up in Mustang. We were staying in Freak Street in Kathmandu at the time. Now, I was nearing the end of my, I'd been away from home about 7 months at that stage, and I was running out of cash and I couldn't afford the permit to go to Mustang, so I chilled in Kathmandu Valley, went to Lumbini and a few other places, and then I headed to Bangkok, where I still remain. Anyway, I met Dave again in Bangkok in 2003, and he told me what happened in Mustang. Tim and Dave were on a trail somewhere near Mustang, and it was getting more and more treacherous with every step. The weather was closing in, the wind was howling, the snow, the sleet was falling and sort of crushing their every movement. Dave decided that enough was enough. There was no point in continuing, so Dave and Tim sat down and had a talk about it, and Tim decided he wasn't a quitter and would push on. He was very stubborn about it and said, "I will not quit, I will do it." Anyway, they split up and Dave headed back down to a safer position. And that was the last time Dave and Tim ever saw each other. Tim perished on the side of a mountain that very day at the age of 22. Dave said that Tim was usually pretty sensible, but in the worst conditions possible, he lost all common sense. He only wanted to reach the peak, not to give up, never to quit. A newspaper in his hometown wrote about the tragedy. However, if Tim had listened to Dave and turned around, would anyone write a piece on the brave and wise decision to quit? I doubt it.